Okay. Hi guys. So I didn't plan on making this today. I didn't plan on making this at all, even. But I am using the voice I have and the platform that I have to speak on being Black in America and what my community has to go through. I've lived in the South for almost all my life. The first time I encountered the police was when I was 5, when they arrested my mom for having an expired tag and failure to yield at a gas station on her way to the grocery store with all 4 of her kids. The tag was 2 days expired because with the state of Georgia, you have the birthday tag renewal. It was 2 days after her birthday. Seeing my mother get arrested was really something I never forgot about, even though it was a misdemeanor. I remember my dad picking me up from my friend's house because literally he was at work when he got the call, so my neighbor had to come and get us. And I remember walking in and seeing her on the couch. I thought I was never going to see my mom again. Fast forward to me being 11, and this is right after my dad died. Me, my brother, and my aunt were flying back to Atlanta, and we had to take a stop between South Africa. The person checking in our tickets basically accused my 10-year-old brother of stealing a plane ticket because his middle name and first name were switched on his ticket, even though he had his passport. She accused my 10-year-old brother of stealing. We are in tears, thinking we're not going to go home. The people who were going to be on the flight with us, who were in line, defended us. Even a businessman offered to buy him a new ticket. And it took us basically complaining to get management down to actually fix it and give him a new one free of cost. And that was my first introduction to racism. Then fast forward to the early 2010s and me going to a majority white high school. Now, I've grown up with a lot of Black people in my life. So to switch from a mainly Black environment to a mainly white environment, that was a shift for me. And growing up in a majority white neighborhood was a real shift for me, okay? I'm going to be so honest right now. Paulding County, that is redneck central because we're right by the Alabama border. That's the honest truth. Anyone who is a minority who grew up in Paulding County would tell you the same thing. And I've had encountered so much ignorance and racism and people making excuses for it. And I had to bite my tongue several times because I did not want to be stereotyped as the angry Black girl. And it was hard. It was hard. I had to bite my tongue. I had to ignore it because they want to instigate you. And majority, if not all the time, the school board or the teachers or whoever's in charge aren't going to take you seriously. They never do. And then I got to college. But before I got to college, I had to have 2 talks with my parents. One was about protecting myself on campus in regards to sexual assault, and 2, what to do if you're pulled over by police. We were told not to move, hands on the wheel, have your license and registration, and just comply. I got that talk at 18 years old. I remember Trayvon Martin dying. My birthday is 4 days away from his. He was 2 years older than me. And I remember flying back from my trip in 2013. I was in JFK, and I remember seeing on the TV that George Zimmerman had been found not guilty. I was so enraged. I was so enraged because you had basically a child die because someone wanted to basically execute him because he was Black. I remember my uncle teaching me how to drive before I got my permit, and my aunt was so mad at him. And she went as far as to read the Georgia manual when it came to driving. I understand now why she was not mad, but she was mad and upset because something could have happened. She didn't want to call my mom and tell her that her eldest child and her brother had been either arrested or had been shot because the police thought something different and didn't think of a man teaching his niece how to drive. I understand that fear in her voice because at 22 years old, I had been pulled over twice. Me and my best friend, we were on our way out for the night. We see Carrollton PD parked outside our building. As soon as we pull out of the apartment, we see the red and blue lights. Me wanting to not cause a thing, I pull over to Greek Village parking lot. They're knocking on both our windows. They're asking for both of our IDs. He tries to intimidate me, asking why I didn't stop for a mile. And I'm like, that wasn't even a quarter mile. We just pulled out of our apartment. You saw us leave. And basically he told me that my tag light was out. We pull over to the Oaks. My tag light wasn't even out. All my lights were working fine. My tags were up to date. My license plate was fine. So we didn't know why the hell he pulled us over. And then last year, while I was working at Six Flags, coming home from Fright Fest, I got pulled over because basically I stopped at the light and I stopped over the crosswalk sign, the crosswalk lane at 1 a.m. while no one was out on a Sunday night. He asked me jokingly, why was I shaking? I was shaking because I was alone in the middle of the night with an officer that could take my life. He gave me a warning when he realized that I was from Paulding County. He went to Harrison and he realized, oh, you're a student. And mind you, I was working a 12-hour shift at this point. I worked a full work day and I was exhausted. And that's part of the reason why I left the company in the first place, because they disrespected so many workers, especially young workers, when it came to just hours in general. But that's a whole separate video to discuss that. I came back to my apartment, went in my room, and I cried. I cried because my life could have been done. I could have become a hashtag. My name would have been on the news. My mother would have had to bury her firstborn child after already burying a husband. I never want my mother to feel like she has to bury one of her kids. And you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry that you're getting the tears, because this is real life for me. This is what I've had to deal with since birth. I get anxiety anytime my brother doesn't answer his phone. I call and text him every day. And even yesterday, I started to get a little bit nervous because I was asking him when he was doing for our mom's birthday, because I'm not there. And then my mom answered the phone. I got worried and she's like, oh no, Kevin's fine. He was just in the bathroom. He just got back from work. That's what I deal with every day. So seeing people complain about looting and property while a 22-year-old son and a 6-year-old girl no longer have a father, their father, who basically was an innocent, kind man, they have to replay his final moments over and over again. I don't want to hear any of you guys complain about Target or Gucci. I don't care. If you care about property than over a human life, then do us both the favor and just unfollow me, unblock me, because you don't understand what people have to go through. And You're probably thinking, well, why is it a big issue? All lives matter. If that was the case, people wouldn't be dying. People would not be marching all over the world for a change to happen. Jesus, this is a lot for me to do, but I have to, because this is a civil rights change. This is a racial movement that needed to happen. George Floyd was the catalyst, and we're doing that right now. And that's all I have to say. Have a good day.